edition of Formica Design again in Cologne. We are here for the IMM, the International Furniture Fair and Living Kitchen. There's a special kitchen fair that they do every second year, and we will report on the latest developments and trends from these two sections with a focus on kitchens.
Germany, and as you might expect, we saw lots of wonderful German technology. There's a great precision, not just in the technology, but in the way the kitchen furniture is constructed and assembled. So this eye for detail is always very impressive. This is a great example of that tiny attention to detail that makes an overall huge impact on the visual. Looking like thin material.
Two solid materials look really thin. Beautiful. And it's really beautiful how it comes together here, how it joins together.
It's German precision.
We think in terms of style, there are subtle changes. The overall style of a German kitchen is minimal, it's sleek, it's box-shaped, but we do see movement and new directions in surface finishing, in colors. Talking about color, white is definitely the color in kitchens, and what we do see is that manufacturers are looking for alternatives to that plain white. So we do see a little bit of a light grayish white, we do see icy blue whites, we do see whites that have a little tint of a beige, or linen, like linen tones with a slight green. So there's alternatives to that plain white. So this is a great example of, what to use instead of white, typical white. A gray, a very light gray with a hint of blue.
Hint of blue goes really well with the dark brown woods.
And from far it looks like a white, or the perception is white or light.
White, light grey, cool grey.
That tone. And then with the ash, it's beautiful with the blackened ash. Very nice. A story of contrast, isn't it? That grey story in plain colors leads us to a material that's very fashionable at the moment, and that's concrete and concrete-looking surfaces.
We see real concrete, and we see hand-worked imitations of concrete, hand-troweled finishes, so there's this touch of craft or human intervention.
If we think about what materials we do see a lot of metal. There's steel tops, which gives the kitchen a bit of an industrial feel.
This is beautiful finish on the steel.
This is beautiful. It's like brushed, isn't it? It does have that.
It's almost, yeah.
And this is what I really love.
Seamless.
Again, that thin
forms,
material.
the same as we saw before. And this is the handcrafted thing we were talking about.
That's right. That's right.
It's almost like it's scraped, cross-scraped finish. It's slightly metallic. It's the cool grey.
Wood grain is definitely a traditional material, especially in the German market for kitchens. I think there's a move away from oak. Oak was the very big trend topic in the last years. Now we see a lot of dark oak, which is a bit of a surprise. It's thermo oak, they call it. It's heat-treated finishing, and it gets dark brown, reddish brown. There's a lot of that. It's represented in some of that. I call it new country style.
Yeah, it's a more modern take.
There's a modern take on country style, on grandmother's kitchen. There's framed doors and painted doors.
And shaker doors, not necessarily with pilasters and corbels like the very traditional country kitchen, but a reference to that more vintage style kitchen.
Yeah.
We've talked for years that the kitchen's the hub of the home. It's kind of, through technology, becoming the control centre of the home. You can have worktops with embedded technology, so you can control every electronic or electrical device in the house if you wanted to, and look up your favourite recipe and listen to music at the same time. So really the nerve centre or control centre. It's a serious possibility with technology. It's not just anymore about having a little television screen in the kitchen, which we saw years and years ago. There's a functional purpose to it.
Part of it, yeah.
Integrated and functional. And then you get the use of technology to increase the flexibility of the space. So we can hide the kitchen away so you can sort of disguise the function of the place, or you can use technology like Team 7 do beautifully with their island unit, which can be lowered to dining height for casual eating, or to work height, or fully to bar height for entertaining. Here we are in the Innovation Hall in the Cologne Furniture Fair, and one of our favourite examples of student work is this smart table with embedded technology. So induction coils built into the surface that charge any number of devices, whether it's lights, mobile phones, small electric motors of any description.
Well, it's a fantastic example of how our surfaces become smarter and with that become an integrated part of our life. It's about the future of surface, really.
Yeah. It's the future.